All right. Good morning, warriors. Good. We have a short class today. I am planning to leave you into us. So I'll drop you at 11:45 if you give me the support for it. Keep disturbing me. I'll keep extending it. My movie cancel kara dunga. Yes. So give me the support for the next 2 hours. I'll make sure that you get through very fast. Yes. Yes. Good. We are continuing with our discussion on chapter number one, a very small topic pending to be closed off, and then we move on to chapter number two. Yes. A quick revision on what we've discussed till now. We have spoken about the fact that when it comes to chapter number one, we are talking about basics of income tax. We start with understanding that if you want to levy or collect a law, you need a constitutional approval. Article number 265. And Article number 265 will give you the approval to levy or collect taxes except by an authority of law. Once you have to create an authority, you need to create a law. Law is done by Article number 246. Article 246 will confirm to you that you have to create a law either in union list, state list, concurrent list. I am under income tax, which we are covering under union list. We then understood the difference between direct tax and indirect tax. Basically, if you levy it on income, it is called direct tax. We understood the breakup. We understood the breakup. We understood that if it's income tax loss is comprising of six components. Component number one, Income Tax Act 1961, Income Tax Rules 1962, any kind of Finance Act up to 2020, very good, Finance Act of 2025, any kind of circulars, any kind of notifications, any kind of case laws. When you talk about Act, Income Tax Act is implemented from 1st April 1960. Very good. It's implemented from 1962, but from the previous year 61, 62. So it is assessment year 62, but previous year 61, 62. Then we have income tax rules, which is also coming from 1st April 1962, basically the year in which you have to apply your rules. We have moved on forward to understanding circulars and notifications. We said circulars are binding on department, notifications are binding on assessees and departments, both are getting covered there. And then we had something called case laws, which we discussed that case laws are not part of your syllabus. It is moved to finance. We understood the fact that when it comes to income tax, you have a charging section number 4, which comes and says income tax will be levied on total income earned by a person in the previous year at the rates in force and will be assessed in the assessment year. Yes, we then started understanding the definition of persons, where we said person means individual, HUF, firms, companies, AOPs, BOIs, local authorities, AJPs. All those people are covered as a person. We understood the fact that when it comes to HUF is basically Hindu undivided family, which is created by forming a marriage certificate. You become a member of the HF by either birth or by brought into the family, but you become a co-partner only by birth. Membership rights are given to you only by the way of birth and not by the brought into the family. Yes, that is what we understood. Adopted is covered accordingly. Clear. After that, we moved on forward to understanding firms. We said firm is nothing but group of persons coming together in order to do business or profession with an intention to make profits. With an intention to make profits. If you're not going to be a firm, you're going to be either a AOP or a BOI, depending on your status. If it's group of individuals, it is BOI. Otherwise, it is AOP. And then we understood artificial juridical person, a person created by a law, a person created by a law, not your ICA, more like liquidator kind of a concept. Clear? Yes, good. After that, people, we moved on forward to understanding previous year and assessment year. We said the year in which you earn your income is called previous year. For your exams, the previous year is 25, 26. For your year, if you're going to assess the taxes, it is going to be assessment year 26, 27. Where previous year will start from 1st April 25 to 31st March 26. Assessment year will start from 1st April 26 to 31st March 20. However, when it comes to previous year, a previous year can also be for a period lesser than 12 months. You can have it for a period lesser than 12 months. If it is going to be less than 12 months, it can only be because of the fact that you are incorporated in the current year. You're incorporated in the current year. If you're incorporated in the current year, the previous year will start from the date on which you are incorporated. Assessment year will never change. Assessment year will always be for the period April to March. But then we started learning some exceptional rules. Yes, 5 exceptional rules we learned where previous year and assessment year will become the same. 5 cases that we discussed. One is, first of all, you shut down the F1 racing, which means AOP BOI created in the year, shut down in the same year. Deciding to shut down Kingfisher, called as business or profession, discontinued in the previous year. To shut down Kingfisher, you need to Sell your assets. Therefore, sale of assets with an intention to evade taxes. Call your friend Doraemon from Japan. This is foreign shipping company coming to India and finally boarding the ship and leaving. Individual leaving India. No intention of. Very good. That is what we discussed of. Any doubts on this part? Good enough to go? Perfect. On that understanding, people, a few more topics which are pending, and then we close this chapter off. We have now understood what is called as previous year. We have understood what is called as assessment year. Today's discussion is going to be about rates and force, which we'll do in the next chapter of. Yes. But before that, there is one topic which is still pending called as total income, which is pending, which is called as total income. Yes. Now, if you understand, people, total income itself has two words. One is total, one is income. So we need to break those and first understand these equally. Yes. So first we're going to understand what is called as income. Let's understand what is called as income. When you add all the incomes, it is going to become obviously yes. So you're going to first understand what is called as income and then move to what is called as total income. Now we did do a heavy discussion on the first day of the class where I told you income is not what you and I decide. Income is what Income Tax Act decides. So what income tax did? Income tax introduced section 2 clause 24. Section 2 clause 20. Where income tax said in 2 clause 24, I'm covering all those items which I think is an income and therefore you should pay tax, and therefore you should pay tax, which means income tax says if it is not covered there, then it is not taxable. Then it's not taxable. But there are some general rules to be kept in mind. Rule number one, people, if I am doing income of normal business, Jitu Bhaiya is running this Profex Academy, Jitu Bhaiya is earning income, taxable, not taxable. Very common practice. Yes. Imagine on the backside, Rahul is running a drug business. Rahul is earning some income out of it. Taxable, not taxable. 101% taxable. Yes, it is going to be taxable. People, just because you're earning something illegal does not mean it is not taxable. It will become taxable. And the problem is it will be taxable at heavy rates. It's not even going to be normal rates. It's going to be taxable at heavy rates. Current rate going on in the market is 78 percentage. 78 percentage, which means 100 rupees you earn, 78 goes to government. 78 goes to government. The balance is what you're going to keep in your hand. Yes. Now, if you think, Rahul, okay, no, 78 at least is government's balance, at least I'm having in my hand. No. People, because you did not disclose this to government, government also wants penalty, which is an additional 10 percentage, right? And this is 10 percentage on your 78. On your 78, which means basically 7.8 percentage, totaling up to 85.8 percentage will be kept by the government. Now, people do bear in mind that this is income tax. This is income tax, which means you avoided income tax, so government collected 85.8. But people, you're also doing something illegal, which means it can be anything, drug trafficking, any kind of human trafficking, all those things, which means there are other things like PMLA, PM, Prevention of Money Laundering Act. There is a separate act called Prevention of Money Laundering Act, and there are other acts called Narcotics Act and all those stuff. These people will also come, no? These people will come and say, Dekho beta, income tax so you paid. Mera मेरा share is also important. Yes, so these acts will separately come and these acts will say मेरा भी अलग penalty, हम भी डालेंगे penalty. Yes, so they will also put a separate penalty on you. By the time you pay all the penalties, हाथ में you'll pay more than what you have also. You'll pay more than what you have also. But if people at this stage I would have let you go, also ठीक है, पैसा ही तो क्या, no problem. They will say boss illegal activity किया, चलो साथ में jail also. Yes, which means पैसा भी गया, jail भी साथ में, jail भी साथ में. That is why illegal things are good but risky. Are risky. The day you get caught, everything is screwed. Yes, until you get caught, nothing is problematic. Yes, so income tax is leviable even on illegal income, just that it is not paid until you find it out. Until you find it out. The moment you find it out, then it's a gone case. Then it's a heavy tax only on you. Yes, from my perspective, I'm only going to learn 78 percentage along with you. Baki lakhs ka mere ko nahi pata. I'm not discussing that with you. That is what the understanding should be. Yes, so point number one is, people, when it comes to income, income can be legal or illegal. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Second, income can be in cash or can be in kind. It doesn't matter. You do whatever you want. As long as I see an income element, I will pay tax. I will pay tax. So either I give you cash or I give you a house, means the same. It doesn't really matter. And therefore, both will become taxable. Yes or no? Yes. Third thing, people, I'm telling you, you can have income either regularly or you can have income once in a while. Either I'm running this academy and I'm earning profit out of it. This is a regular income. On the contrary, I'm also having a share trading business. So I'm going and I'm selling shares once in a while, once in a month, twice in a month, I'm selling shares. Can that also be taxable? Yeah. Very well can be taxable, which means income can either be regular or one time. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. Are we making sense? Yes. That brought me to case number 4, the most important thing. What do you mean by income? What do you mean by income? For all my accounting friends, people, you've learned it from your 11th standard itself. Income basically means what you show in the P&L as revenue minus. Very good. So when you talk about income, people, the general understanding is income means revenue minus expenses. Yes or no? But here is where the problem starts. When you say expenses, what do you mean by expenses? What do you mean by expenses? A very simple question I'm going to ask you. Question is, Rahul is running this academy. Rahul, so you are paying money. Rahul, you are paying money. For me, Rahul, it is revenue. It is revenue. Yes or no? To start this activity, I need to buy my tablet, electricity charge, AC charge, all those charges is my expenses. Genuine expense. Will you reduce, not reduce? You will? Correct, not correct. You will reduce it. But people imagine I come and say, because I'm taking a class for you, I also need to have food. I also need to have food. So I have to pay for the food. That is also my expense. That is also my expense. I want to reduce that also. Will you allow? Why? What is personal in this? Only if I eat, I will have energy to talk to you. No, exactly. That's the difference. The difference is that if you don't have a class, also I would have still eaten. I would have not come and said class हुआ तो ही खाना खाऊंगा. Yes, that's not how it operates. Which means this becomes a personal expense to the extent it is, it is sunk cost. You learned it in costing, people. You learned it in costing, something called sunk cost. Basically, cost which has to be incurred whether or not the activity takes place. Whether or not the activity takes place. थोड़ा बहुत costing मैं भी सिखाऊंगा, relevant costing. Yes or no? Yes, so just be careful about that fact. Now, here is where the whole challenge started. People, at one point of time, you can come and say, "Ha, Rahul will eat food even if you're not taking a class." At the other side, Rahul can come and say, "You are only sponsoring the food." The problem kya hai? Yes or no? So the problem which came up is, what do you really mean by expenses? And if you think about it, I'm an income tax guy. If you show more income, good for me. But if you show more expense, I'll be very happy. Correct? Huh? Correct? Huh? No, I'll be very pissed off because the more expenses you show, the less income you offer. The lesser the income you offer, lesser tax you give. The lesser tax you give, less money for me. Yes, which means in an income tax atmosphere, I am more interested about your income or more interested about your expense. I'm more interested about your expense because I know income you will offer. Problem is expense also you will offer, which I don't want. Which I don't want. Yes or no? Yes. Which is why people in income tax things went a little funny. While you normally say income means revenue minus expense, in income tax we say income means revenue. In income tax we say income means revenue. So section 224, when you go, no, section 224 will use the word income, but actually give the list of all the revenue items. Up Rahul, does that mean any expense illa? Does that mean I will not get expenses? No, you will get expenses, but only those expenses which income tax allows. Which income tax allows, which is where the definition changed a little bit, people. The definition is not revenue minus expense. The definition is revenue minus allowable expense. Revenue minus, who's allowing? Very good. That is what the understanding is. Now, why this whole story, people? Understand this very carefully. I just told you that when you're doing illegal business, you need to pay 78% tax. Yes. So scenario happened like this. There was a guy, very, very old guy, some 1980s, 1919 times. Yes. There was a guy called Mr. Qureshi. What this Mr. Qureshi was doing is Mr. Qureshi was running a business. And apart from the business, in the back door, he was running a drug selling operation. Yes. Now, what happened is in the drug selling operations, he was making enough money, good money he was making, life was happy. One of the days, what happened? Some police officer got the wind of it, and therefore he decided to raid the house. So what happened? He immediately went and he raided the house, and a lot of gunfiring and all started. During this gunfiring operations, people, unfortunately, the the factory caught fire. The factory caught fire. Everything burnt. Every single thing burnt. All the drugs are gone. All the drugs are gone. But Qureshi has been caught. So Qureshi has been taken and put in jail. Now, during this jail operations, people, one guy is more excited, Mr. Income Tax. So Mr. Income Tax visits this Qureshi in the jail and comes and says, "Mr. Qureshi, I have been got to wind that you have made a lot of illegal sales. Therefore, I like 78 percentage tax. I like 78 percentage tax. When your factory was being burnt, I actually recovered all your books. And I realized that you have made a total sale of 50 crores. 50. Therefore, I want tax on 78 percentage. People calculate, अच्छा 50 crores में कितने zero है? How many zeros in 50 crores? People, crores is 7, 50 extra है, so therefore one more 8 zeros are there. Yes, count कर लो अच्छे से, इतना जिंदगी में देखा नहीं होगा. Yes, number is 39.39 crores. So what happened is income tax department sends a demand letter. Demand letter comes and says, Mr. Qureshi, you are due to pay 39 crores. Yes. Now at this stage, Mr. Qureshi is extra smart. People, Marwadi Buddhi would not let it go. Yes or no? मैं बताता हूँ. Yes, Marwadi Buddhi did not let it go. So what happened is Mr. Qureshi tears the notice in front of his face, and he actually gives a letter to him back. He gives a letter to him back. He says, sir, you have to pay me 5 crores refund. You have to pay me 5 crores refund. Department is like, what the hell is wrong with you? He's like, sir, as much as I understand income tax, when I earn income, I will pay tax. Here, I have made a loss, so you should pay me tax. You should pay me tax. He is a little puzzled. Department is like, what the hell is wrong with you? Why would I pay you tax? Where is the loss, first of all? He's like, sir, it is right that I made 50 crores revenue, but it is also true that one idiot came to my factory and he burnt my factory. So I lost 60 crores worth of goods, lost by fire account. We passed an entry, loss by fire account, debit to purchases account. So we passed an entry called loss by fire to purchases account. Expense became 60 crores. Net loss is 10 crores. I went to department and I was like, sir, see, normally illegal income, I did not pay a single rupee tax. I agree. But legal business, I was paying tax. Legal business, I was paying tax. Now my illegal business is showing 10 crores loss. So what will I do? I will take this. See, now you have identified the business. So there is no more illegal. It's now a legal business. So I'm telling my legal one business has made 10 crores loss. My legal other business has made 20 crores profit. Knock off each other. 10 crores is what I should have paid tax on. But I originally paid tax on 20 crores. And extra payment refund. And extra payment I want refund because I paid extra to you. Now that time I paid extra because only one business was legal. Now both are legal. Both are legal. Assessing officer said, not allowed. You pay me 60. You pay me 39 crores. You pay me 39 crores. Qureshi said, sir, either you pay me the money or I will hit the court. I will hit the court. He was like, chalo, saath mein chalte hain. Yes. So both of them went to the court and you are the judge right now. You people, you are my smart people. You are the judge right now. I'm standing in front of you and I'm coming and saying, sir, I want 5 crores ka refund because I have reported a loss. I have reported loss. Tell me, will you give me, not give me? People don't get emotional. Give me law. तेरे को ऐसे बता. Where is it given? It's not allowed. In the bottom. If the income is legal, then the expense is also legal, no? But you made it legal now, no? What you should collect tax on? Revenue or income? Illegal income, illegal revenue, illegal expense. People allowed, not allowed. Will you give me refund? Not give me refund. Will you give me refund? Not give me refund. You will. You will. Court said approved. Court said approved. Court said correct ही तो बोल रहा है क्या दिक्कत है? Yes, he's telling right only. What is wrong with you? You can only collect taxes on income. He has made a loss. Give him refund. What is the issue? What is that? People, I'm talking about 1980s. Back in those days, laws was not clear. Laws was not clear. That time court said approved. Yes, the moment the court said approved, income tax got scared. Income tax will like, if this is the case, then every legal guy will now come and start reporting loss only. Yes, everyone will suddenly start declaring, sir, I am doing illegal business, refund. People, because you and I both know illegal business is not easy. Takes efforts. The more income you want, the more risk also you have. Yes or no? So the risk is too high. Sometimes you get caught, sometimes you don't get caught, bribery and all those things. You may end up making losses also. Right? So they were very scared right now that they went and said, sir, if that is the case, every legal business will come and say, I'm doing legal business now, give me refund. Give me refund. What happened? What happened? They went and they complained to the finance minister. Ma'am, something is wrong here. Something is wrong here. And therefore they went to finance minister. Finance minister said, next year we'll make amendment. Next year we'll make amendment. Next year amendment came and clarified illegal income pay expense not allowed. Illegal income pay expense not allowed, which means now you have to pay tax on full 50 crores. You have to pay tax on full 50 crores at the rate of 78%, number becoming 39 crores. That is the day when income tax realized. We should no more call it revenue minus expense. We should call it revenue minus. Very good. Any doubts on this part? Are we making sense? Yes or no? That is how the understanding came of people, which is why what is happening is in this chapter, I will not discuss with you both. I will neither discuss with you revenue nor will I discuss with you expenses because we are going to discuss it in subsequent chapters. In every chapter we will go, I will tell you what is revenue according to this chapter. I will also tell you what is expenses according to this chapter. Knock off these two, you will get income. You don't knock off, you will get revenue. Pay tax on each. Pay tax on each. Agreed, not agreed? Yes. Now, if you think about this carefully, people, by this amendment, I am now in a bigger issue. Why? People think about it, I'm running an illegal business. Imagine I'm buying and selling drugs. I will buy the drugs for 10 crores. I will sell the drugs for some number, 20 crores. Chalo, I will sell the drug for 20 crores. I made a profit of 10 crores. Tomorrow I get caught. Department says pay tax on on why no expense. No expense. So he will ask me to pay tax on 20 crores. People 20 crores to 78 percentages. 15.6. How much did I earn? How much did I actually earn? 10. I only earned 10 crores. You are asking me to pay 15.6. कहाँ से लाऊं? Correct? Yes or no? Yes. People, that one Qureshi guy, he saved himself. We got, I mean, we nahi, but ठीक है. Yes, everyone else got caught here because here the problem is now you cannot allow any expense. The moment you're saying no allowable of any expense, I am asking tax on revenue, which means unless you are a business where you're making like 100, 200 percentage profit, you're technically going to make huge losses because you will have to pay more than what you earned also. Yes, which is where the whole problem starts. Which is where the whole problem starts, and that is where you have to be extremely, extremely careful. Clear? Yes, yes. Let me also give you another example. I'm not sure how many of you know. There is a show called KBC. कौन बनेगा कौन बनेगा crorepati? Yes, there was this one big issue which happened about a year ago. About a year ago, what happened, people, is one of the persons who was on the panel, the hot seat. Yes, there was one person who was on the hot seat. The issue was this person was from a very, very poor village. The guy was literally like, his monthly income was 1,200 rupees something. Talking monthly income. Yes, monthly income of 1,200 rupees. Extremely poor guy came on KBC. Yes, now the show was something like Slumdog Millionaire. So what happened? This guy came and he won 5 crores. He won 5 crores, 5 crores, 5 crores, 7 crores, whatever the number is. 7 crore, chicken. Yes, so he won 7 crores for the KBC. Yes. Now the funny thing what happened, people, is 7 crores is his income on which government wants you to pay tax. Government wants you to pay tax. Now this guy came and said, sir, I'm traditionally itself poor. 7 crores I've never seen in my life. It's a big number for me. If this comes to me, I will be able to develop myself and my village also. This guy literally came and said, sir, I'm not earning the 7 crores for the purpose of myself. I want to develop my whole village. My whole village. Imagine people giving him 7 crores. The full village would have eaten for a 1 year. Yes or no? Yes. But here is where this idiot income tax department comes and says, nahi beta, winnings matlab 42.744 tax. 42.744 tax. Archa number is 2 crores. Approximately 3 crores. People out of 7 crores, 3 went to department. 3 went to department. 4 is left with him. 4 is left with him. Either a second problem, people. Income tax department comes and says, on these kind of winnings, you can't claim any expense. You can't claim any expense, which means if you think about it, for him to reach the KBC show also, he would have traveled, he would have eaten, he would have gone and spoken to people, he would have paid money from his side. All those expenses got swaha, got ignored, not allowed as deduction. Not allowed as deduction, which means 4 crores is what you see in a hand. But technically, after removing all his expenses, some 1 lakh, 2 lakh rupees he would have incurred to reach the place. You ignore all those things, technically hand mein kuch bhi nahi bacha. Yes or no? Yes. This is how ugly sometimes income tax department plays. And I'm not even kidding, people. This actually went on the Hindu news. It went on the Hindu news where a big poster was put, first page big poster, which came and said, a person has earned 7 crore rupees, but is actually receiving only 4 in hand. This is how India is cheating people. This is how India is cheating people. करके इतना बड़ा news आया, and then huge articles. Politicians and all are earning crores, not paying 1 rupee also. This guy earns, one poor guy earns 7 crore rupees. You're asking him 3 crores to pay tax. What is going on in India? ऐसा क्यों है? If you should have been very careful, this person is not even rich enough. Yes or no? All that nonsense started in India, people, and it's actually true. Because the funny thing is, had I been a business guy and I would have earned the 7 crore rupees, I would have claimed all my expenses. Had I earned the 7 crore rupees in my business, I would have claimed all my expenses, and therefore my net income would have been like 1 crore, 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs, depending on my margin. There, I would have only paid tax at 30, 35 percentage. The fact that it is a lottery income, you're coming and saying pay 42 percentage is unfair. Is correct, not correct? Yes, this is how income tax works, people, which is why traditionally people come and say India mein income tax nahi bharna chahiye. Yes, the problem is not with us. The problem is with department. Yes, there is one thing which I always tell in life, people. Rules and restrictions are good, but when you start doing it too much, people start ignoring more. People start ignoring more. Yes, when you said pay tax, I would have paid it happily. The fact that you start coming and saying do this also, do this also, do this also, now I'll come and say why this headache? Better not pay itself. Yes or no? Yes, that is how the Jain and Marwadi community has come to this stage. Because at this stage, we have come to this point where we are like, who will take care of these many rules? We will not pay. What if you go and tell, sir, kal ko jail? Tab dekhenge. This is our standard practice. I've seen so many Jain and Marwadi communities, including myself, who will come and tell people that, ठीक है, let's not pay anything today. Yes, tomorrow penalty तो आएगी, देख लेंगे. वो आने के लिए they have to find out me in 170 crore population. You think I am the only person alive here? 170 crore population. I'm not the only one cheating India. So by the time they reach me, I would have died. Takes time, people. You can't find a one person. No. So therefore, I said, ठीक है, penalty तो है. जब आएगा तब देख लेंगे. By the way, if you think about it, people, penalty will only come for that 1 year. I have been cheating India for last 10 years. Correct? No. So he will levy penalty only for 1 year. The penalty he will levy will be still lower than what I saved in the last 10 years. So what would I prefer? भरो और जाओ, खत्म, क्या टेंशन है इसमें? इफ यू आर एक्स्ट्रा स्मार्ट एनफ, यू कैन गो टू द ऑफिसर एंड कम एंड से, सर क्या टाइम पास, इट्स नॉट लाइक मनी इज कमिंग टू योर अकाउंट, मैं देता हूं, आई विल गिव यू मनी इन योर अकाउंट. यस, तुमको भी बेनिफिट, हमको भी बेनिफिट, जीनी जीनी, बाय बाय. Yes or no? Yes, people, imagine in India, now not relevant for you, CA final, you'll come and learn that CA final comes and says on every income that you cheat, you have to pay 300 percentage penalty. On every income you cheat, you have to pay 300 percentage penalty, which means 1 lakh if I cheat, I'll have to pay 3 lakhs in return. By the way, just to clarify, 3 lakhs is penalty, 1 lakh भी देना ही है. मतलब for every 1 lakh rupees that I'm avoiding, I have to pay 4 lakh rupees. I have to pay 4. People, who is going to pay 4 lakh rupees? क्या है? हाँ, yes. नहीं, वहां पे स्पेसिफिक रूल्स है, बिकॉज आई एम ऑलरेडी कलेक्टिंग 78 परसेंटेज, आई एम नॉट आस्किंग 300 देन, आई एम आस्किंग 10 ओनली देन. यस, क्या बोल रहा था मैं? हाँ, so if I've avoided 1 lakh rupees, I have to pay 4 lakh rupees back. In this stage, what will I do? I will go to the officer and come and say, sir, क्या sir, I have to pay 4 lakh rupees. एक काम करते हैं, 20% आपका, बाकी मेरा. योर प्रॉफिट 20%, डिपार्टमेंट को कुछ नहीं मिला, यू कीप कितना, 4 lakh 20, 80,000. 80,000 goes to officer's pocket. I have saved 3 lakh 20. I have saved 3 lakh 20. डिपार्टमेंट को मिला. Yes or no? इसमें people, I earned 1 lakh. Even if I give 80,000, I'm still fine. 20,000 तो profit है हाथ में. And that too for this year. For last 5 years, I was still earning 1 lakh rupees. Correct? No. People, this is India. Yes, everything looks good on the book. Practically कुछ नहीं होता. Yes, practically कुछ नहीं होता. तुम एक CA हो, मैं बोल रहा हूँ मैं CA हूँ. Yes, this is what we do in life. Not that I do it, but both. Luckily, I've never been caught, people. तो मेरे को पता नहीं. Yes, when it get caught, we'll देखेंगे, तब की बात है. अब क्या टेंशन है? Yes, so when we got caught, that time we'll talk about it. अभी तो टेंशन नहीं. अभी के लिए I am not caught, so I am doing good. Yes, and therefore I always tell this one thing, people. Nothing is illegal as long as it get caught. It's not getting caught. I am doing legal only. तेरा को क्या problem है? Yes or no? Yes, this is a mindset which has happened, people, and the mistake is not from our side. The mistake is honestly from department side, because the rules and regulations have become too difficult to follow. Yes, when you start doing too many things, I start ignoring too many things. That is what the understanding comes to. Any doubts on this part? No. Anyway, coming back to the legal part of the discussion. The legal part of the discussion is when I talk about income. Income means revenue minus allowable. Very good. He picked me up only for this year. He thought I'm only cheating this year. Usko kya pata? Only when he starts opening the last 4 years, he will know about the facts. No. See, if you come and tell me, Rahul, if you have cheated this year, my assumption is you would have cheated last 4 years also. Don't be mummy to me. Don't be mummy to me. It is not how it works, people. Yes, this is India. Yes, you can't come and say once a cheater is always a cheater. Too monotonous discussion, right? So I will come and say, sir, you have caught me for this year. You catch me for this year. Don't ask me other information. If you need other information, get an approval first. Because understand, people, for every year to verify, you need an approval. You only have approval for this year. You get approval for other years. We'll discuss. तब की तब देखेंगे. Yes or no? Yes. And India is also extremely nice to you people. India says you can only open last 3 years. Last 3 years. After 3 years, you can't open things. You can't open things, which means 3 years के पहले जो भी हुआ वो तो already victory है. उसका टेंशन ही नहीं है. Yes or no? The problem is only the latest 3 years. Latest 3 years is where I have to be extremely careful. I have to wait. Department कुछ नहीं कर दे. Department कुछ नहीं कर दे. Department कुछ नहीं कर दे. The moment 31st March gets over, I'm like, ये मेरा money मेरे पास है. बच क्या गया? मेरे पास ही है. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. Incident. चलो ठीक है. I'll check this later. But anyway. So the point is very simple, people. When it comes to incomes, you have to be careful. It is revenue minus allowable expenses. That's how income tax reads it for you. Yes. So small summaries for you. One, keeping in mind when it comes to income, income can be once or regular. Income can be in cash or kind. Income can be legal or illegal. Income always means revenue minus allowable expenses. Yes, with that definition, people, let's understand a few more things. One, when I'm talking about the word income, like I told you, income is what income tax decides, right? And therefore, what income tax has done is income tax has put some 20 sites, 20 sites clarifying this item is income, this item is income, this item is income. Now, you and me cannot sit and waste time on those things. So what I did, I told you every single chapter we go, we'll discuss. This is an income, tax it. If it is not an income, don't tax it. Yes, but let's put some general understanding. Why would income tax want to tax something? Why would income tax not want to tax something? Yes, one thing, people, if you're earning this income regularly, will income tax want to tax, not want to tax? Want to tax. But if your income earning is once in a while, then income tax may decide to tax, may not decide to tax, depending on the need of the case. Yes or no? A simple example, people, you're getting married and you're getting dowry. Getting dowry. Now, you're not going to get married every single year, hopefully. You never know. Hopefully. Yes. So hopefully you'll never get married every single year, which means this is going to be a revenue item or a capital item. Capital item. At this capital stage, income tax would like to decide what exactly is the intention here. Intention is basically money is getting transferred between related parties. And therefore, income tax may say not taxable. May say not taxable. Yes or no? Yes. Similarly, people, if I come and tell I have a fridge at my home and I'm going to sell the fridge because it is not working anymore, I'm going to receive scrap money. I'm going to receive income tax will come and say it's a scrap money, which I know 99.9% you will make a loss. You bought it for 10 lakhs. You're going to sell it for 1 lakh, 2 lakh, which means you are going to make a loss. If I let you tax this, you will always ask for refund. You will always ask for refund. So income tax said, don't tax. Don't tax. So income tax now came and clarified if it's personal items, then I don't want any tax. I don't want any tax. Which means if you notice this carefully, when it's a regular activity, I may still come and ask you for a tax. But it is once in a while. I will tell may or may not be taxable. Yes or no? Yes. So a thumb rule has been decided, people, which says revenue items are always taxable, whereas capital receipts may or may not be taxable. Now, who will tell you may or may not be? Where? Section 2, clause. Very good. Which means income tax came up with understanding where income tax said if it is capital receipts, it may or may not be taxable based on section 2, clause 24. Suppose section 2, clause 24, most of the items are capital items. Most of the items are capital items because revenue items are anyway taxable. Are correct, not correct? Yes. So what has happened, people? Income tax has made it very easy for you. Income tax said 224.1 says revenue items are taxable. From point 2 to point 40, everything comes and says capital items, which I think are taxable. Everything else is not taxable. Agreed, not agreed? Yes. So what you're going to do in the practical world, people, is you're going to look at a transaction and going to ask yourself a simple question. Is it revenue or is it capital? If you tell me it is revenue, I will say get lost tax only. But if you say capital, then I will say, okay, let's go. Check the act. If the act says tax, you pay tax. If the act says don't pay, I will say exempt. I will say exempt. Agreed, not agreed? Yes. Which means the first question you need to now understand is what do you mean by revenue and what do you mean by how do you differentiate a receipt coming to you as revenue receipt or a capital receipt? If it is recurring and occurring in nature, it is called revenue receipt. If it is not occurring regularly, it is called very good. Anything else? Small in terms of quantum or in terms of percentage? In terms of people imagine Apple example. Yes, Apple is selling an iPhone. For those who know people, iPhone which comes to you for 1,50,000 rupees actually is manufactured for about 30,000 rupees, which means there is always a 5x profit. Tell me, revenue capital. It's a good at the normal nature. It's a revenue item. Even if he's making 5x profit, does not mean it's going to become a capital at any point of time. Next, P&L, meaning you have to maintain books now. Huh? When I sell shares, when will you get the profit? You'll sell next year, but profit will come once only, no? You said profit will happen over the years. You're talking about holding period, I guess. If you're going to hold it for more than one period, it's called capital then. Okay, I'm talking about assets. I'm talking about receipts, not assets. Try something else. Normal course of is revenue. Anything happening in the normal course of business is revenue. Otherwise, it is fair enough. Anything else? Something which is adding wealth to the person is something which directly adds wealth to the person is capital. Okay. When you sell shares, you're going to sell the shares for 1 lakh rupee. You're going to buy the shares also first. When you're going to buy the shares at 10,000 rupees, your profit is 90 or 1 lakh. You're going to sell the shares for 1 lakh. You're going to buy the shares for 10,000. Your profit is after deducting expense or without deducting expense. Still a capital receipt, right? Yes, yes, yes. Good. People, I'm going to give you some examples. You're going to tell me if it is capital or very good. Situation is like this. Rahul is planning to sell some furniture. Sell some furniture. Tell me capital revenue. How do you know? I'm in sale of furniture business. Mistake is your side. When I told I'm selling furniture, you should have asked a question. What is my correct, not correct? Yes, I always told you this once, people. Going forward in my classes, when I ask questions, ask the right question. You don't ask the right questions, you will get the wrong answer only. Yes, when I'm selling furniture in my furniture business, it is a revenue receipt. But when I'm selling it as part of, let's say I'm a computer business guy, then it is capital because I have recorded it as my asset. Yes, which means like she rightly said, if you're doing it in the ordinary course of business, it is revenue receipt. Otherwise, it is capital receipt. People, I'm selling shares. What? I teach. In the example only I teach. How does it matter? Intraday is my regular business then. If I'm doing intraday, then it becomes my normal business, no? I don't do intradays. Wow, I'm teaching right now. I don't do intradays. Then it becomes a capital receipt because you're in teaching profession and holding this as an asset. Holding this as an asset. Now coming to the intraday discussion, people look at this carefully. Sometimes this is one issue which people have. People come and say Rahul is holding shares. People imagine Rahul is going for an IPO. Recently, क्या चल रहा है? Physics wala came in recently. Yes. So imagine physics wala IPO. Rahul has invested in physics wala IPO. Yes. Rahul has made some investment. Now physics wala has suddenly jumped to 10x. And Rahul knows after 10x it's going to fall only. What will Rahul do? Immediately sell. Yes. Now Rahul got the IPO today. 5x happened tomorrow. Tomorrow itself Rahul sold. Revenue capital. It will still remain capital because intention here was not the time period. Intention here was what am I doing? This was never my business activity. Therefore, it is still capital. So sometimes holding period does not give you the right answer. Be very mindful of that. Any doubts on this part? Then it is revenue, no doubts. Yes, if I'm coming and telling you I am like Mr. Rakesh Unjanwala, if I'm like Harshad Mehta, then that is my business itself. When that is my business, that automatically becomes revenue receipt. Yes, which is why I'm asking you the simple question. Tell me, do you do it as a part of your bread and butter, or are you doing it separately? Or are you doing separately? Are we making sense? Yes. Now, people, I want you to look at this carefully. You are right now all students not earning any money right now. Yes, but you all may have opened up a zero the account, kite account, and are selling some shares and buying some shares. Maybe investing in IPOs. For you, whatever money is coming, revenue capital. Why? Because today you're not earning anything else. This technically becomes a bread and butter, no? Out of your total receipts, 100% is coming from shares only. Yeah. Do you report? I mean, I don't know. Have you prepared a balance sheet for yourself ever? How do you know that you're showing it as an asset? Yes, yes, yes. People in these kind of discussions, the answer depends on your intention. The answer depends on your intention. If you come and tell me my intention itself was that I want to earn enough money here and I want to buy things for myself, you are doing a business now. Then it becomes a revenue item. If you come and tell, nahi, nahi, theek hai, once in a while I do it, I make some profit, I make losses, anything can happen. This becomes capital receipts. This becomes capital receipts, which means sometimes your intention also makes a difference. Makes a difference. Any doubts on this part? Are we good enough to go? Very good. With that, people, example number two. Situation is like this. I am running a business. Yes, or I'm planning to start a new business. Imagine I'm planning to start a new business. And for this new business, what happened is I wanted some assets. I wanted assets. Now I wanted assets for my business people. So I went to a vendor, a client, and I told him, boss, I need some assets. Send it to my office. Send it to my office. I told him I want 10 assets worth 10 crores. Send it to my office. I am going to start my business day after tomorrow, which means day after tomorrow is my inauguration ceremony. Is my inauguration ceremony. Before day after tomorrow, assets should be in my factory. Otherwise, I'll not be able to start my inauguration ceremony. All the clients, the big shot people who are coming for the ceremony will feel very bad. Will feel very bad. I'm paying about 1 crore for the whole ceremony itself. So please ensure that by day after tomorrow, assets should remain in my factory. In my factory. This guy came and said, yes, sir, no problem. You are my loyal customer. I will promise you day after tomorrow, assets will be in your factory. I'm like, sir, you mara promise and all. I don't want assets. I want. He's like, sir, kar dunga. I'm like, kar dunga and all not required. Put it on a document. Document should say, you will send the assets to me day after tomorrow for my inauguration ceremony. And the moment I'm creating an agreement, I will always bring in a penalty clause. I brought in a penalty clause. In the penalty clause, I came and said, if the assets do not deliver to me, then whatever expenses I will incur for my inauguration ceremony, he will have to bear it. He will have to bear it. He also said, "हाँ sir, कोई problem नहीं है." Signed and given to me. Signed and given to me. Unfortunately, people, कल हो गया बारिश. It's raining heavily tomorrow. He did not deliver the assets. He did not deliver the assets. Now he said, "Sir, beyond my control and everything." I'm like, वो तुम्हारी गलती. मेरे को नहीं पता. Agreement says you should have given it to me day after. You did not give it to me day after. I need my money back. I need my money back. So I went to him and I collected 1 crore rupees from him. I collected 1 crore rupees from him. Rahul Kele, this is a receipt. Rahul Kele, this is a capital revenue. क्यों? Not non-recurring, therefore one time, therefore capital. Correct? Huh? Okay. Same example, people. Imagine I go to this person and I come and say, sir, on the first day after inauguration, I need to start making products. So I want raw materials from you. So I have asked him to give me raw materials day after tomorrow, and he has not supplied the raw materials to me day after tomorrow. At this stage, when I prepare the contract with him, I'm telling him every time I give you an order, every time I give you an order, day after tomorrow, order should come to me. This is what you're learning in costing is just in time. Yes or no? So I've approved, I've agreed for this, and I've told him every time you make a mistake, you have to pay me 10% penalty. You have to pay me 10% penalty. Now, people, this guy has never made a mistake in the last 10 years of his career. One day, unfortunately, he made a mistake, and therefore he had to pay me penalty. Now I've received penalty for delay in receiving my raw materials. Revenue capital. Why? Intention is important, is it? Intention तो किसी का भी गलती करने का नहीं होता. Revenue capital. Why? Huh? It's not recurring because he did it only once. What he keeps doing it? What if he keeps doing it every once in a while? Hey, it's raw material for my business only. Revenue capital. Revenue capital. Revenue capital. Answer is. Answer is. Answer is. Answer is revenue. Answer is revenue. People understand this carefully. When the first time I got a penalty, penalty was relating to an asset. Second time I'm getting a penalty, penalty is relating to my raw materials, which means the amount itself is directly linked to an asset. Therefore, it became capital. In the second case, the amount was directly linked to a raw material, which is a revenue item. Therefore, it became revenue. It became revenue. Yes or no? Yes. Sometimes receipts are dependent on the main activity also. If the main activity itself is asset, then it is capital. Otherwise, it is very good. Any doubts on this part? Clear enough to go? Yes. People, imagine a case where Rahul is running SIM cards. Rahul's business is to sell SIM cards. Rahul's business is to sell SIM cards. Now, what has happened is Rahul is only selling one SIM card, Jio. So Rahul has opened a franchisee business. In the franchisee business, Rahul is selling Jio. Yes. Now, one day, Jio officer comes to me and comes and says, Rahul, you're doing an amazing job. I'm extremely happy with you. So much happy that I don't want to continue anymore. आपके जैसे धंधा किसी ने नहीं किया मेरे साथ. Yes, no one has done this kind of activities with me in life. I am so happy with you that if I stay one more day, I will make losses. Therefore, shut down and get lost. Shut down and get lost. Now I'm feeling devastated. But who to my CA? Yes. So I went to him and I was like, sir, if you want me to shut down, I will shut down. No problem. It's not like I'm dependent on you. But at the same time, sir, there is one problem. When you and I entered into an agreement for the franchisee, somewhere in the clause, I had silently introduced a line which said that you have to retain this franchisee for 5 years. You have to retain this franchisee for 5 years. If you don't retain this franchisee for 5 years, you have to pay me 50 crore compensation. 50 crore compensation. Now he said, Rahul, I did not read the line. I'm like, that is your headache. You signed it. You signed it. I need my 50 crores. Tell me, people, Rahul has received 50 crores because my agency has been shut down. Capital revenue. Why? दूसरा खोलने के लिए कैपिटल चाहिए, ये कैपिटल नहीं है. Why? Regular பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேன். I was doing zero business, yes. Penalty was for the business or SIM card? Business, no? Business is a capital item or revenue item? You're selling the whole business itself, no? Amalgamation account पर हम goodwill पोटिया. Goodwill देना पोटा. हाँ. Business capital or revenue? People capital revenue. Capital revenue. Obviously capital because my bread and butter is gone. Yes, my livelihood itself is gone. My main activity of my business itself is gone, which means I don't have a business anymore left. I don't have a business anymore left. If I have to put it this way to you people, I can also tell you, what have I done? I've technically sold my business to him in return for 50 crores. I have sold my complete business to him for a purpose of 50 crores. Selling of a business itself means capital receipt. Correct, not correct? Yes. People, I'm going to change my example a little bit. Imagine this. I am running an agency business. This time I'm selling Jio, Airtel, Vodafone, Idea, all SIM cards. Normal card I have. Yes, normal shop I have. I'm selling all SIM cards. Jio office comes to me and comes and says, Rahul, I want exclusivity. I'm saying, sir, your SIM cards are not even popular. What exclusivity you want? I am not doing it. He said, Rahul, I'm giving you two choices. Either you give me exclusivity or you stop selling Geo. You stop. I'm like, okay, I will stop selling Geo. I will stop selling Geo. Now at this stage, people, what happened is I came and said, sir, I am stopping. I am not selling Geo because you are asking me to do it. I am interested only, and my contract says 5 years minimum requirement. You are asking me to stop within 5 years. Pay 50 crores. Pay 50 crores. Tell me revenue capital. Bye. Exactly. People, my business is still alive. I am only selling one part of my agency. I am not going to lose my bread and butter for this. And therefore, it becomes very good. Yes or no? People, similar example. Imagine a case, I am in a company as an employee, as as employee. I am an employee, and the office, my boss comes to me and comes and says, Rahul, तुम इतने अच्छे हो, काम क्यों नहीं करते? So he's telling Rahul, you're doing an amazing job. Why don't you work? And I'm like, sir, I am working. He's like, not for me. You're doing something else in the office. Yes, you're so nice for me that I don't want you to continue anymore. That I don't want you to continue anymore. Please, dafa ho jao yahan se. Yes or no? Get lost from here is what he came and told me. Now I'm like, sir, see. Now I told, see, problem is you are working. I am working in your company. So I have a bound contract with you. And as per the bound contract, if you want me to leave the company, you need to give me a 3 months notice. 3 months? You have not given me 3 months notice. You have asked me to leave immediately. I am super unhappy. I have mental grievance. Yes, वो आज का जेनजी चल रहा है, वो क्या बोलते हैं उसको, stress effect. Yes, I'm being mentally tortured. Yes, so because of the mental torture, I need compensation from you, 50 crores. You mean mental stress के लिए 50 crores compensation? I've received 50 crores for termination of my employment contract. Capital revenue. Why? Again, the same thing. My bread and butter is gone. Because I was in employment, this was my major activity. Therefore, it became capital. It became capital. Any doubts on this part? Yes. Last example. People, I'm coming and telling you, I'm an employer. You are my employee. Diwali bonus, gift given to you. Diwali bonus, gift given to you. Capital revenue. Diwali நாளுக்கு போடுறியா? Diwali bonus given to you as an employee. Capital revenue. Why? हाँ, हर साल ही मिलता है ना. What is the quantum of recurrence? Once in a year. It's not. Diwali bonus is not linked to your regular salary. Extra money. It's not required that I have to give it to you. You have not worked for Diwali. You have worked for the salary, not for the bonus. Because you're working, I'm giving you basic salary, no? I'm not giving you bonus because you're working. Probably. What if I get Son Papdi? You expect that to be revenue in nature? People, gift given by an employer to employee, revenue capital. Revenue capital. Revenue capital. Revenue capital. Capital. Because obviously, once in a while case. Yes or no? Yes. People, option number two. I am Mr. Jetalal. I am Mr. Jetalal working in Gada Electronics. Yes. Mr. Gada Electronics is selling Tony TVs. Yes. Now, episode yaad hai? So I'm selling Tony TV's people. Now the Tony TV guy comes and tells me, Jetalal ji, you're doing an amazing job. I would like to sponsor a London ticket. I would like to sponsor a London ticket. I am also extremely happy. Go back home, tell Daya, London ticket, chalo gumi. We start packing, and suddenly one phone call comes. Phone call comes and says, no, sir, ticket for you, not for, not for family, not for family. Go meet Kerry. Go meet Kerry. Have something and come back. Yes or no? Yes. Now, Jetalal has received free air ticket from his customer, from his client, customer, vendor, whatever you call it. Yes, I've received free ticket on my business. On my business. Technically, is a gift because Tony TVs was not obligated to give this to me, which means they've given me a gift, free air ticket gift given to me in my business. Revenue capital. Why? मिले तो अच्छा है, क्या दिक्कत है? पूछ के देखते हैं. Since it is a gift. Okay. People, scenario number three. I'm getting married. Yes, I am not getting married. Okay. Scenario number three. Someone is getting married. Yes. Now someone is getting married and someone has come and told, Shadi mein Maruti 800 minimum mangta. Yes. I want bare minimum 800. If you have Aukat, give me BMW. Yes. Basically asking for gift. Basically asking gift. Yes. I, the other person has received gift on wedding. Revenue capital. क्यों? क्या बार बार गिफ्ट मांगा तो? भाई इज इट एग्जाम पे नहीं? मैं पूछा ही नहीं एग्जाम. मैं पूछा ही नहीं एग्जाम. People, how many of you seen this movie called Ladies vs Ricky Bell? The Ranveer Singh movie, Anushka Sharma Ranveer Singh movie. Business ही है मेरा. Con man. मारुति मांगना ही कौन मैन ही है. तुम्हें नहीं पता मां. यू आर वेरी यंग टू डिसाइड. अभी तो तुम्हें रेड फ्लैग्स ही दिख रहे हैं और कुछ नहीं हो रहा. यस, रेवेन्यू कैपिटल. डोंट टेक इट सीरियसली. मार मत देना. रेवेन्यू कैपिटल. पीपल, व्हाट इफ आई कम एंड से वेडिंग डे पे मारुति 800, वेडिंग से होने के बाद घर आने पर एक फ्रिज चाहिए, उसके बाद नेक्स्ट डे मेरे को एक टीवी चाहिए, महीना महीना मेरे को महीना महीना रेन्यूअल चाहिए, एवरी मंथ. वो जैसे मंथली एनिवर्सरी करते हो ना, वैसे मंथली गिफ्ट रेन्यूअल चाहिए मेरे को. जैसे ही 1 मंथ एनिवर्सरी होगा घर पे फ्रिज आना चाहिए, जैसे ही सेकंड मंथ एनिवर्सरी होगा घर में टीवी आना चाहिए, मैंडेटरी. यू डोंट हैव अ चॉइस. रेवेन्यू कैपिटल. रेवेन्यू कैपिटल. रेवेन्यू कैपिटल still remains capital, doesn't change. People, if you understand this carefully now, when I talk about a gift, whether it is coming from business, whether it is coming from employment, whether it is coming from other sources is always going to be, which means for every kind of gift I have to ask a question: is it given in income tax act? Is it given in income tax act? If income tax act says yes, I will say taxable. If it says no, I will say, which is why I told you people, when you get dowry in a wedding, dowry in wedding is fully exempt because it's a capital receipt. Income taxes don't tax. Income taxes don't tax. But if you're getting this Diwali bonus and all, it is taxable. If you're getting business gift, it is taxable. That is what the understanding is. That is what the understanding is. Any doubts on the understanding? Yes. So bonus capital. It is capital. Yes. So basically, people, 5 examples I gave you. I'm going to receive compensation for an asset. It is capital. Receiving compensation for raw materials. Revenue. I am going to receive compensation for one agency. Capital. I'm going to receive compensation for one agency out of many agencies. Revenue. I'm going to receive compensation for my employment. Capital. If I'm going to receive gift in my employment. Capital. Gift in business. Gift in other reasons. Everything is answered that way. Yes, this is your exam MCQ question. This is your exam MCQ question. You may get MCQs around this. Some example they'll give you and they'll ask you whether it is capital or revenue. Be mindful on the fact that when I'm using the word capital revenue, I am not discussing whether it is taxable or not taxable. That's a different chapter. I'm only trying to understand whether it is capital or revenue, because if it is revenue, I know it is taxable. But if it is capital, I have to decide whether it is capital or not taxable. It is taxable or not taxable. Any doubts on this part? No? No? Very good. With this, we are done with the chapter, people. We're marking a few things and we are closing this chapter off. Can you open your books off? On with your books, people. I need 2 things. You have a highlighter, right? Please have a highlighter and a pencil with you. Shall we? Yes, yes. Let's mark a few things, people. I will tell you when to write. I will tell you when to mark. Just look at this carefully. Yes, we're looking at Chapter 1, Income Tax Act, quickly revising everything what we discussed of. We spoke about the fact that when it comes to income tax, you're referring to Article number 265, which talks about powers to levy or collect. Full stop. That's it. Yes, not tested in exam. Don't worry about it. Don't take any intention on this. Yes. Next, we spoke about the law. Law is Article number 246. 246 comes and clarifies income tax is under union list. Your agriculture is under state list, and then GST is under concurrent list. We're going to note down on the agricultural income with a pencil saying agri income is exempt. Agri income is exempt. Agree, people? Agree income is exempt. Clear? Yes. Then we spoke about direct tax and indirect tax. Now, like I'm telling you, we spoke about the fact that there is only one difference, but book says multiple differences. So the multiple differences are given to you, will not be tested at your level. Yes, you are not going to be tested on what is the difference between direct tax and indirect tax. Two basic questions for you. Yes, so don't worry about it. Then we spoke about the fact that when it comes to income tax laws, we have Income Tax Act, Income Tax Rules, Annual Finance Act, circulars, notifications, case laws. Very good. That is what you have. Income Tax Act says you apply it for the whole of India. You have some schedules, you have some rules, your applicability comes accordingly. You have income tax rules where the party which is going to make all the choices is called Central Board of Direct Taxes. The party is going to make all the choices is called Central Board of Direct Taxes. Yes, yes, good. After that, we move to Finance Act, people, where we learn Finance Act. Like, how does it happen? It starts with a bill on 1st February. Starts with the bill on 1st February, goes to Lok Sabha, gets approval, moves to Rajya Sabha, gets approval, moves to President for assent, becomes a part of the Act. Act becomes official gazette, then gets read along with Income Tax Act. Then gets read along with Income Tax Act. Clear? Yes. Now, if you want to read an Income Finance Act, people, Finance Act has 4 columns. Not important for you, but just letting you know. One thing is what you have to keep in mind is if you want to know your tax rates for assessment year 26, 27, you look at Finance Act 25. In Finance Act 25, you look for part number 3. You look for part number 3. Don't look for part 1, part 2, part 3, and part 4. Look for part 3. Part 3 will come and tell you what is rates applicable to you. If you want to know, Rahul, what was the rate applicable before me, just to know what is the amendments, you can look at part 1. Part 1 basically happens, people. Part 1 will come and tell you what is the previous rate. Part 3 will tell you what is the current rate. That is what the understanding is. Yes or no? So sometimes, people, if you have an understanding, if you go to an interview and in the interview they come and say, I only have Finance Act 26. I only have Finance Act 26, but they're asking you rates of Finance Act 25. You can look for part 1. But if you're in Finance Act 26, looking for 26, then you're looking part 3. Any doubts on this part? Clear enough to go? Yes, keep that in mind. Then we move to circulars notifications, where we have already highlighted saying circulars are binding on department, notifications are binding on assessees and department. Very good. Judicial pronouncements is not relevant for you, so therefore we move on forward. We then understood the definition of India, where we said India means so much items. India means so much items. Has never been tested as theory, will not be coming in exam also. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I told you, people, there are only handful of 6 theory questions. Only those things are relevant to you. Don't mark too many things. You start reading too many things, then you come and say time nahi hai. I'll tell you what to read. Don't worry about it. Yes, so India definition, not important. Then we learned what is called as persons. Persons level we learned individual, HUF, firms, companies, AOPs, BOIs, local authorities, AJPs. That is what we have learned for definition purpose. We will be learning about assessee separately, assessment separately, income we just discussed. We just discussed where we said income is an inclusive definition, rules for you to follow. Income is taxable whether it is regular or once in a lifetime. I don't care. Regular in the law, okay. Once in a lifetime in the law, okay. Everything is income. Everything is income. Second, income can be revenue minus allowable deductions. It is revenue minus allowable deduction. It is not revenue minus deduction. It is revenue minus allowable deduction. Yes. Third one says income can be in the form of cash or in kind. Can be in the form of cash or in kind. And fourth one comes and says income from illegal sources also taxable, treated as is. Treated as is, just that it is going to be taxed at higher rates. It's going to be taxed at higher rates. We'll discuss about the higher rates separately off. Yes. Then we understood the fact that when it comes to income, you're going to split them into two. One is revenue receipt, one is capital receipt. Revenue receipt and capital receipt, or a definition is given to you. How do you treat something revenue? How do you treat something taxable? People, if I do it regularly, it is called revenue receipt. If I'm doing once in a while, it is taxable. If it is linked to an asset, it is capital. If it is linked to a raw material, it is revenue. If because I receive it, my business itself will shut down, capital. If there is no effect on my business, revenue. If my bread and butter is going to go away, capital. If I'm receiving gift, very good. All the examples are given bottom. Yes, this is what you're going to note down as MCQ. This is what you're going to note down as MCQ. So MCQs basically come and say, if I'm going to receive, people, do you know what is liquidated damages? English? Liquidated damages in simple words means penalty. Let's keep it simple. Yes, when I see penalty, that is called liquidated damages. The only difference is, people, penalty is levied by a law. If someone else, like a vendor, is doing client discussions happening, we don't call it penalty, we call it liquidated damage. That is the English, that is all. Yes, so when you read it from a law perspective, you read it penalty. When you read it from a business perspective, you call it liquidated damages. That's all, nothing else. Yes, so for your convenience, people, कल को जाके क्या पढ़ा समझ में नहीं आया करके, just make sure that you write down liquidated damages is nothing but yes. So if I'm going to receive any liquidated damages for my asset, then it is capital. If it is going to receive for an asset, then it is capital. If I'm going to have any compensation for agency being the only income source is capital. If it is various income source, it is revenue. Any kind of employment is capital. Any kind of business contract is capital. Any kind of gift received is always capital. That is what the understanding is. Yes. Now this has come once, people. Once in May 2020-24, when ICI was like, you know what, let's pass everyone. Yes, this came as a theory question, 4 marks. They gave you this exact same 6 scenarios and they said, tell me whether which is capital, which is revenue. 6 marks question. Yes, beautiful question came for 6 marks. That was a bonus year. That was a bonus year. Has never come before, has never come since. Has never come since. Has been tested once in a while for MCQ, so just be mindful about it. Clear with me on this? Yes, very good. Then we moved on forward to understand the charging section, where we said charging section says total income will be taxable for income tax earned by a person during the previous year at the rates in force, assessable in assessment year. We have learned what is person, what is the previous year definition. Previous year means the year in which you earn activities, the year in which you make your activities. This is what is called as your previous year. This is what is called as your previous year. Done, done. What is assessment year, people? Assessment year is basically the year in which you pay the tax. Pay the tax. Notice carefully, it says assessment year means a period of, it says period of 12 months, mandatory 12 months, which means it cannot be less than 12 months. So it says mandatory 12 months. But if you notice previous year says means FY. FI can be in anything. It can be less than also, it can be equal to also. But assessment year says only 12 months. Only 12 months. That is what it is. For your exam, people, assessment year is, your assessment year is 26, 27. Exceptions. Next topic. Clear? Yes, yes, very good, people. Notice the line carefully. The green box comes and says, when it comes to previous year and assessment year, they're always recognized from April to March. They're always recognized from April to March. You are not going to recognize it other than that. If you're recognizing it differently, I want you to prepare new accounts for April to March. Only then will I approve the tax payment for you. Yes. Second, when it comes to previous year, it can be also for a period less than 12 months. In case of a new business, previous year will be the date of setting up, will be the period of setting up. People, notice, if I'm starting a business today, I am today only setting up. My activities may start 1 month later also. My previous year is from today or 12 months, 1 month later. It is not important that you have to start earning income. It is important that you should be alive. The day you are alive, I will start calling it previous year. I'll start calling it previous year, because when you're alive, even if you don't have incomes, you may have expenses. So I still have to account for both. And therefore, it is from the date of setting up, not from the date of commencement. Yes, you would have learned it in your Companies Act. Companies Act will say there are two dates. One is the date of incorporation, one is the date of commencement of business. I am talking about date of incorporation, not the date of. Be very careful about this. Yes, yes. So you can note down here when it comes to date of setting up, the date of earning income is relevant, not relevant. Very good. The rate of earning income is not relevant. Good to go. Yes. Then we learned about the exceptions. People, we learned five exceptions for yourself. Five exceptions that we learned where the previous year and assessment year will become the same. Items we discussed is AOPBOI coming in the year, discontinued in the same year. If AOPBOI is formed for a particular purpose, likely to be dissolved in the same year. Second, my business or profession discontinued in the current year. Point number E. Point number E says business or profession discontinued in the same year. Then selling of assets with an intention to evade taxes. It says person likely to charge, sell, transfer, dispose, or part with his assets with an intention to avoid his liability. Point number four, foreign ship coming to India. So it says ship of a non-resident entering into India will be permitted to leave India only after paying its taxes. And point number five is individual leaving India, no intention of coming back. So it says any kind of individual which is leaving India with no present intention of returning back. All those things are to be kept in mind. Please mark this one as theory question number one. Yes, yes. This is the first and the only theory question you're going to learn with me right now. All other theory questions will come at the end of the batch. Yes, until the end of the batch, there is not going to be any more theory questions. All theories happen at the last, which means from now we are only going to do sums. That is what the understanding will be. Are we clear on this part? Yes. Good enough to go? Perfect. With this, people, you've understood what is called as income. Yes, and I told you we have just only covered income. The word was never income. The word was total income. Yes. So the understanding is what do you mean by total income? Very simple. Once you know what is your income, you take everything, add together, it becomes total income. If only life was that simple. Life is never that simple. People understand this very carefully. Yes. You are going to prepare an income tax statement based on the total income you earn. Now, what is my income and what is your income is different. Your incomes may be something else. My incomes may be something else. Now, imagine 160 crore population. Every single person prepares a new statement. Every single person prepares your beautiful handwriting, your beautiful English. You prepare one statement, submit to income tax department. I prepare a statement, I submit to income tax department. Consistency becomes a problem. Yes, I want to know what is everyone's income on a generic level. I know you are only going to earn some incomes. I am going to earn some incomes, but the understanding should be common, consistent. Only then can I properly verify every information. I can't sit with you every single day, understand what is your document looking like. Yes or no? So then income tax came up with a proposal where income tax said, let's standardize the process. Let's standardize the process, which means income tax said, whatever incomes you earn, whatever incomes I earn, whatever income anyone earn, I'll put them into five buckets. I'll put them into five buckets. Income tax says put them into five buckets, report me the five buckets. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that, which means any income you earn, and if I say it is taxable, it will sit in any of the five buckets. Now understand this carefully. Your sources may be infinite. Your income is five heads. What? Your sources may be infinite. Your income is five heads, and therefore income tax came up with a proposal saying, I'll give you five heads of income, put them in five heads. Answer is over. Answer is over. Anyone knows five heads of income? Income from, very good. Head number one is called income from salaries. Huh? Apina? Selling of. Head number four is called capital gains. I'm looking for head, not source. Income from, very good. Income from business is head number three. Income from house. என்ன பண்ற வித்தியா இல்ல ரெண்டா? Rent. Head number two. Income from house property. And finally is your garbage called income from other sources. Income from other sources. So income tax came up with an understanding, people, where income tax said, I am going to tax incomes based on five heads of sources. Yes, five heads of sources are income from salaries, income from house property, profits and gains of business or profession. So, profits and gains of business. See, this is the mistake you're making. People, the and the or is very important. Look at it. Profit and gains, business or profession. Yes, which means if I'm in a business, profit and gains both are taxable. If I'm in a profession, profit and gains both are taxable. But my business is a separate thing. My profession is a separate thing. I can't add them together. So it is profit and gains, business. Very good. That is what the understanding is. Yes. Head number four becomes capital gains, and head number five becomes income from other sources. Becomes income from other sources. People revise for me. Five heads of income are income from salaries, income from house property, profits and gains of business or profession, capital gains, income from other. Very good. Yes, people, these five heads of income is going to carry 70 percentage of your syllabus. Is going to carry 70 percentage of syllabus, which means for the next 1.5 months, we are only going to do these five heads. Yes, after 1.5 months, once you're done with these five heads of income, every other chapter will be one day. Yes, so if you notice in your book, people, you have about 20, 21 chapters, Nanigra. 23 chapters. In the 23 chapters, if you notice, people, chapter number 3 should be residential status. Chapter number 4 is income from salaries. This is your head number 1. Chapter number 6 is income from house property, head number 2. Then profits and gains of business or profession, head number 3. Capital gains is head number 4. I have, for my book purposes, split capital gains into 3 chapters, which is business reorganization and transaction donors. Those are all capital gains. And then we have head number 5, which is income from other sources, along with the chapter called dividends. Along with the chapter called dividends, these chapters together comprise of 70 percentage of your syllabus. Comprise of 70 percentage of your syllabus, which means if you know these five heads carefully, you can assume you're already passed for the exam. Yes, yes. What is apart from that, people? Rahul, इसके अलावा इतने सारे chapters pending है. Every single chapter after that is one day chapter. I will come to the class, chapter over. Yes. Why, people? Because every other chapter is linked to these 5 chapters. So my life is very easy. I have to come that day and I have to come and say, that day we learned this, तुम भूल गए, मेरा काम हो गया. That's all. That is what I'm going to do, people. I'll come on that day and I'll come and say, that day you learned something which you don't remember. I have completed the chapter. Therefore, this chapter is over. Karo, pado, jao. Yes, that is what is going to happen for the balance chapters of, which means 1.5 months you'll spend अच्छे से on these 5 chapters, and after that every single day will come one day, 15 days, chapter over. Yes, so the moment the 5 heads of income are over, you can assume 15 more days are left and your syllabus is, that is what the understanding is going to be. Yes, yes. So I'm going to spend enough amount of small patient time on the 5 heads of income. Once the 5 heads of income gets over, next days you come for a class, you blink and the chapter is, that is what is going to happen. So focus attention on the 5 heads. Now people, now 5 heads, so matlab baki heads, if I don't read also it's enough. No, I can still pass the exam. Better not to, because the other heads are damn easy. Yes, every other chapter is damn easy and they will easily score about 15-20 marks in exam. Which means if you know the other heads carefully enough, you can easily score 20 marks even without knowing heads of income. Which means technically पूरा book important ही है. पढ़ना सब कुछ ही है. Yes, you have to read everything off except for few chapters which I will itself tell you, people, you can skip off, called TDS. Yes, I'll be telling you, unless you're planning for a rank, you have to skip off TDS. Yes, because TDS is a mandatory 4-mark question in exam, but itself carries 40 sites. Itself carries 40 sites. Hell lot of worst chapter, people. The chapter में क्या है कुछ भी नहीं समझ में आएगा. There are some 20 sections and all the 20 sections will come and tell you ये है, ये है, ये है, ये है. You have to remember this, you have to remember this, you have to remember this. सब भूल जाओ. Yes, so TDS is not my top priority. It's not my top priority. I generally don't tend to take too much efforts on TDS because after I complete the class, everyone comes and tells, भैया हम anyway skip ही करने वाले. Yes, so with that intention only, I taste the chapter also. I'll tell it to you what is required on a practical level, but this is what the chapter is going to look like. Clear with me on this? Any doubts on this part? Good. Which means 5 heads of income you have for your exams, people. 5 heads of incomes are income from salaries, income from house property, profits and gains of business or profession, capital gains, Very good. Income from other sources, five heads of income are given to you. Yes. Now people look, देखने में सब अच्छा लग रहा है. Yes. देखने में सब अच्छा लग रहा है कि सब पता है. Yes. I'm going to give you examples. You're going to tell me which head will it sit under. Which head will it sit under? Yes. Question is coming and telling you, I have a house. I have a house. I was bored of the house people, so I decided I want to go to a bigger house. Because I decided I want to go to a bigger house, I decided to sell this house. Now, when I sold this house, I made 5 crores ka profit. I made 5 crores ka profit. Head taxable under. I told my house, I'm bored. Taxable under capital gains. लॉन्ग टर्म किसने बोला? मैं बोला ही नहीं कि मैं कितने दिन के लिए था. नेवर हर्ड दैट. इनकम फ्रॉम हाउस प्रॉपर्टी. सी capital gains. Yeah, house property the word இருக்கு. எங்க எழுதிருக்கு? house sold income. இல்லையே. அசெட் நான் பேலன்ஸ் ஷீட்ல போட்டேன். பர்சனல் ஹவுஸ்மா எங்க பேலன்ஸ் ஷீட்ல போட போறேன்? கேக்குறியா சொல்றியா? people taxable under capital gains. Taxable under capital gains. Understand, heading says income from house property, not income of house property. Income from house property means house should give you income. House should you give you income, which means income from house property means rent, which means there is only one income which is taxable under head number 2, which is rent, nothing else. Selling of a house is a capital gains. Is a capital gains. Any doubts on this part? Very good. People, I am having shares. I'm in the business of selling and buying shares. I'm in the business of selling and buying shares. I'm having some shares. Yes. Now, when I sell the shares, PGBP, I know. Don't ask. मैं बता रहा हूँ. Yes. But what is happening is, people, I have not sold these shares. I was holding the shares in my hand. Because I was holding the shares in my hand, Reliance company declared dividends. Declared. Rahul has received dividends from shares held by us as stock in trade. Dividends earned by a person who holds the shares as stock in trade. PGBP. हाँ. PGBP. PGBP. तुम्हें तो सब आता है. हाँ. Quick, quick, quick. I have to start next chapter. जल्दी करो. PGBP. All aligned. All in favor. All in favor. Very good. IFOs. Income is taxable under other sources. People, my business is to buy and sell shares. My business is to buy and sell shares. My business is never to earn dividends. This is incidental to me. This is therefore becomes taxable under IFOS. I have not taken any efforts from a business perspective to make this profit, therefore taxable under other sources. Any doubts? Clear? Clear? Question. People, I am a real estate developer. I am a, what do you suggest? What is a real estate developer? Imagine Casa Grande, VGN flats, and all those things. So I'm a real estate developer, people. I made a building. I made a building. Now I was planning to sell this building. But what happened? Some idiot came to me and came and said, this building, man, there is a haunted house. No one is ready to buy the house. I had to make some profit for myself. So what I did, I went to my customers and I said, sir, okay, don't buy the building. At least for the next 2 months. रह के देखो. Stay in the house for the next 2 months. If you still like it, you buy the house. Otherwise, don't buy the house. Otherwise, don't buy the house. 2 months these people were living. Obviously, they will not live for free. They'll pay me rent. Rahul is receiving rent from the house property held by me as stock in trade because I am a real estate developer. Come, come. Yes, yes. Rent received by me as house held as stock in trade on a real estate developer business. Taxable under, taxable under, taxable under. क्या चाहिए हिमांशु? छोड़ उसको. Taxable under, taxable under, taxable under, taxable under HP, taxable under HP, income from house property. People, what did I tell you? Any rent coming from the house is taxable under HP. Any rent coming from the house is taxable under HP, which means as a real estate developer, my business was not to take rent. My business was to buy and sell houses. Receiving rent is an incidental activity. Is an incidental activity, becomes taxable under HP. Now you can ask Rahul, why is it not IFOS? Because HP is there. I told you IFOS is a garbage section. Garbage means when nothing is there in the first four, it sits in five. It sits in five. Any doubts? Chalega? Yes. Question. People, I was working as a company employee. 50 years I worked in the company. 51st year, I said, you know what, ready to retire. Ready to retire. Company says, Rahul, you have been an amazing employee to me, and therefore I would like to pay you pension. I like to pay you pension. Now notice carefully, people, I have left the company. There is no employer-employee anymore. I am receiving pension for my employer because he is happy with my work of the past. Happy with my work of the past. Taxable under, taxable under, taxable under income from salaries. Taxable. Exactly. People, problem is you think the pension is an extra income given to you. It was never an extra income. Had he not given you pension, you could have received extra salary when you were working. So it's technically a part of the salary given to you in a later stage. Even if today there is no employer-employee relationship, it was there existing on those days, which means this is still salaries. This is still salaries. Any doubts? No? People, you have learned in CA Foundation accounts something called salary received by a partner from a partnership firm. The partnership accounts, you have three payments: interest on capital, salary to partner, share of profits. Yes, salary received by a partner from a partnership firm, taxable under the head. Salaries, taxable under, taxable under. क्यों? No, it's not. Separate legal entity. I am the partner. I'm not the firm. I'm the partner. Salary received by the partner from the partnership firm. People, for the partner, it is an income. Partner के लिए taxable under, taxable under, taxable under, taxable under PGBP. Taxable and a people, for a salary to be given to you, there should be employer-employee relationship. There should be a employer-employee relationship. People, partner के लिए who's the employer? मैं ही हूँ. I am the employer. I am the employee. I'm working for myself. Yes or no? Two-faced guy. Correct. No. People, can you be under salaries then? No, you can't be under salaries. As a business guy, I am investing in the firm because I want to earn profits, which means my intention while investing in the firm itself is to make profits. Taxable under, very good. Taxable under PGBP. Clear? Yes. People, I am receiving salary as the CM of Chennai. I'm the Chief Minister of Chennai. I am receiving salary. Huh? Taxable under income from other sources. Taxable under income from other sources. People, again, there should be an employer-employee relationship. Who is the employer for the CM? Government. मेरे लिए काम कर रहा है वो. He's working for us only. Yes or no? Government is of the people, for the people, by the people. Can you go and tell the CM of Chennai, आओ कभी हमारे घर, make tea for me? Can you do that? No, which means there is no employer-employee relationship once again. And here, allegedly, CM is not working for profit. He's working for welfare of India, which means other sources is the garbage. Other sources is the garbage. Clear? Clear? People, I am receiving interest on capital as a partner from a partnership firm. I gave capital to the firm. Firm is giving me interest. Taxable under. Capital gains कहाँ से आएगा? Taxable under PGBP. People, when the salary is getting taxed under PGBP, interest is also the same thing. No, I invested for the same intention of making business. Hello, yes or no? Yes, people, I am running a company. In this company, I have been receiving money regularly. The extra money which I have in my hand, I decided, you know what the hell? If I keep it in a bank account, there is no point. So I went to the bank and I asked, make an FD. Make an bank is now going to give me interest. Bank is now going to give me interest. Interest on FD received by investing company's business income. Interest on FD received by the company by investing the company's business income. Company personal कैसे होगा? How will company have a personal bank account? Company's name. Company has gone to the bank. Company has got an FD made. Company has got interest, but the money invested is business money. Taxable under. Taxable under. Taxable under. Taxable under other sources. I am never going to give you one question where you get the right answer. Taxable under other sources. People, shh. My business is not to invest in FD. This was incidental in nature. This was incidental in nature. Even though I'm using business income, I am not technically doing it for the purpose of making FD interest, which means it was never my business activity. It becomes an IFOS. Becomes an IFOS. Correct? Correct? Question. People, listen. I am running a business. In this business, I paid some tax. Unfortunately, what happened? I paid something extra. So I paid a little extra tax. Because I paid extra tax, I went to department. I said, I want income tax refund. I want income tax refund. Head. Head is PGBP. Other sources. Other sources. Other कंपनी के लिए सैलरीज कहां से आ गया? Taxable under. Not taxable. People, you paid money, you got back your own money. Income कहां है? A. It is like you are going and giving extra money to the bank. Bank gives you back your own money. Will you pay tax on it? Therefore, this is money given, money brought back. Not now. Look, people. When I gave the income tax refund, government along with the refund is giving me extra interest. So now I got interest on income tax refund. Taxable under. I paid tax under business. People, business income I paid a tax. That tax I paid extra. I got refund along with interest. Hey, क्यों भाई? I got extra only, no, this time. This is an income. Taxable under. Taxable under other sources. People, paying tax is not my business activity. By paying tax, I'm not doing anything business related. That's my expense. That's my expense. Income coming incidental is still IFOS. Is still. Any doubts on this part? समझ में आया सब? Yes. Now you would realize, people, as you think Rahul 5 8 मेरे को पता चल गया, कुछ नहीं पता तुम्हें. Yes, when you go to every single section, and that is why people income tax is so special, because in income tax you don't have one charging section. You have five charging sections. Yes, now you learned only the charging section of income tax. From the next classes, you will learn charging section of salaries अलग से, HP अलग से, PGBP अलग से, IFOS अलग से, and CG अलग से, which means every head will have its own charging section clarifying what is taxable under my head. Because if something is not taxable under my head, you will move to next head. If it is not taxable in that head, you move to next head until you reach IFOS. Until you reach IFOS, that is what will happen for you, which means we are going to do the same thing. If you remember yesterday, we took 2 lines and we spent 3 days. Every single subject, every single head of income, I will give you 2 lines and we'll spend 3 days understanding what is there in that head first before jumping into the head itself. Before jumping into the head itself, this subject is not as easy as you think. It takes a time to understand, it takes time to realize, it takes time to interpret also. So you need that much kind of attention from itself. Clear it, clear it, clear. People, questions I asked you, if you remember, I got Diwali bonus as an employee, taxable under. My boss is giving me Diwali bonus, taxable under. Why? One off only, no? Is he giving it to me because I'm working as an employee, or is he giving it to me because I'm doing Diwali? Taxable under. Very good. This one is taxable under salaries, because even though this is Diwali bonus, at the end of the day, it was given to you because of your relationship with him as an employer-employee, and therefore becomes taxable under. Very good. Becomes taxable under salaries. Any doubts on this part? All clear? Yes. People, last question. Last question. I'm coming and telling you that I have. Hmm, what do I have? सोचने दे मेरे को. Why is this not getting complicated? रुको. Imagine a case where what has happened is I had a house. I had a house. I did not want to sell the house. People, I was living in the house. Yes. One day, government comes to me and comes and says, Rahul, your house is in the middle of metro construction, and therefore I'm going to take over the house. I'm going to take over the house. I'm like, sir, I am not interested. He's like, Rahul, I'm not asking. I am informing. I'm informing. This house is now mine. Who says? Government says. Government says the house is mine. Now, people, I was not very happy. But at the end of the day, government is taking over the house. He will not take it for free. He'll give me some money. He'll give me some money. Money received by Rahul because government forcefully acquired my house, taxable under. Even if it's losses, what is the difference? If it's loss, you'll put in IFRS. Huh? But I can ask refund. No, some head you have to decide. No, then taxable under, taxable under, taxable under. House property कैसा है? Taxable under. Quick. Taxable under capital gains. Very good. Taxable under capital gains, because even if government is acquiring people, at the end of the day, what is acquired is my house. Is my house. Now, people, issue is not here. Issue is that when I got the house, government is telling me he'll only pay me 2 crores for the house. I'm like, sir, 2 crores is very less. Market value itself is 6 crores. So I'm not happy with this. Government says 2 crores ही मिलेगा. उसके ऊपर I will not give. I will not give. So what I did, I immediately went and filed a case in the court, and I said, sir, government is forcefully taking my house. I know it is important for metro construction, so I will give it. I'm being nice here, but only one request: at least ask him to pay me 6 crores. At least ask him to pay me 6 crores. Now, people, court come and says, "Pa, genuine guy only, makes sense, makes sense." So what court said? No problem, no problem. 2 crores you already got earlier. 6 crores, government will give it to you, but only one problem: he'll give it to you after the metro is completed, which means 5 years later. Assuming 5 years में हो जाए. Yes, Assuming 5 years में हो जाए, I'll get the money 5 years later. Now people look at this carefully. Today, when I sold the house, I got 2 crores. Capital gains, you said, I agree. 5 years later, I'm going to receive another 6 crores. Taxable under 5 years के बाद. Taxable under, I have not sold anything. People, 5 years later, what will I get? Only 6 crores. There is no cost because there is no house right now. House gone 5 years ago. How is it pending payment? Government said two only. Court gave me extra. Taxable under, taxable under, taxable under, taxable under capital gains. Taxable under capital gains. People, the money still relates to the house only, so there is no change. But now people look at this carefully. Problem what has happened is I have got the money 5 years later. So I'm telling, sir, this is very unfair. If you're giving me money 5 years later, at least give me along with interest. So 5 years later, when government gave me money, government did not give me 6 crores. Government gave me 6 crores plus an extra 10 lakhs for interest. That extra 10 lakhs which I received, capital gains because see intention for that only. Taxable under by relates to the asset money only. It's not late payment. Court has confirmed only 5 years later you'll get it. What is late in this? It was already confirmed that you'll get it after 5 years only. You can't do much about it. Quick, quick, quick. Last question. Jaldi, jaldi, jaldi. Taxable under, taxable under, taxable under other sources. Taxable under other sources. Yes, Bhavik made it rightfully said. Even though court said you can get it after 5 years, technically this is like me giving a loan to government because government should have given me the money today itself, but he's taking some additional time, which means it is like I am giving a loan to government, which is not my business activity, which means taxable under. Very good. That is what the understanding is. Yes. So slowly, steadily, you'll get somewhere. You'll understand kya kya cheeze kahan जा रही है. Yes, you'll get to that point, but right now this is what the understanding is. Any doubts on the understanding? No. So total income has five heads of income. People, heads of salaries, house property, TGBP, capital gains, IFOs. Now, people, for those who are very excited to write short forms, Rahul, 5 में कौन से short forms approved है? I cannot write short forms for everything. There are only two short forms which are approved. One is PGBP. You can write a short form for PGBP. That is perfectly fine. You can have a PGBP short form. You can have IFOS short form. These are the only two short forms which are approved in income tax. Unnecessary, Rahul. IFS is not an approved short form. Yes, because when you say IFS, I don't know. Income from sources, income from salaries, no risk. Yes. Now IFHP is something which we normally use in the market. It's not approved as such. Not approved as such. So don't use IFHP also. And obviously, people, capital gains is a small word. CG nahi karna hai. Yes. So it is capital gains. It is capital gains. Two, I am permitting itself, which means classes में भी दो allowed है. उसके अलावा की चीजें not permitted. Not permitted. Are we clear? Any doubts on this part? Good enough to go. Yes. With this, people, you're done with chapter number 1. We'll be moving on to chapter number 2, which is your sums. Not today. Not today. We'll do it in the next class. Yes. But every time I start the next subjects, I always come and tell people, you have just now scratched what is income tax. You still don't know how to approach the subject. You still don't know how to approach the subject. So what I always do, people, is in my classes I always have a trend to come and give you something called as golden rules of tax. What is called as, you already learned golden rules of accounting. Yes, those are all wrong. Yes, we will learn golden rules of tax. Basically, people, I'll give you a step process where you have to follow the step process, not for your exams but for your practical world. Practically, when you read a tax, you should approach it in this step. This is what the understanding would be. Yes. Yes, can we note down? Let's note down. People, can you check your concept guide? Is there a last page? Last page of concept guide. Yes, last page of your concept guide, people. Shall we? Shall we? Heading is called Golden Rules of Tax. Quick, you finish this, I close. Write whatever you want. By the time you write your exam, it should not look like everything smudged up. There is only one risk with pencil, people. After 6 months, you will not even know what is written. Yes, so always prefer to write pens. If you have pencil, fair enough, your choice. Heading is called Golden Rules of Tax. Now, people, let me warn you. Let me warn you. There are 16 steps. Plan accordingly. If you have a big handwriting or something, please plan accordingly. I have 16 steps. I have 16 steps. Yes, normally in my handwriting, it is possible in this page. But if you have extremely beautiful, big handwriting, carefully plan it. Yes, yes, yes. Under that, step number one. Step number one. Identify the question. Step number one. Identify the question and its requirements. Identify the question and its requirements. And its requirements. Yes, yes. People, this is honestly asking me one of the most common sense related step. Yes, but one of the most important steps for your exam, because problem with you people is, and when I say you people, I'm not being racist. Problem with you people, Gen Z generation at least, is that you get too overexcited in exams, right? Question would have come and given you multiple information, but then question would have said compute income from salaries. Now you see too much information, you are like, Nini, why should I do only salaries? Let me do total income. कर दे, टैक्स भी कर देते हैं, रिफंड भी कितना चाहिए मैं बता देता हूँ. यस, वो सब इंफॉर्मेशन, what is asked is what is relevant. So be very careful on it to first know the requirement of the question before you move forward. And this is something more important for my subject, because the problem what happens is when you get a question in exam, one question will go for two sides, which means in the first side you'll only know the requirements. In the sense, the first sheet will only tell you the facts of the case. The actual requirement is sitting in the second page. What do? You start from the top. You start reading everything one by one. You've already taken your pencil out. राहुल ने बोला taxable, राहुल ने बोला exempt, राहुल ने बोला IFOS में डाल दो, राहुल ने बोला tax भर दो. By the time you reach the second page comes and says मेरे को चाहिए income, which means everything you did is useless, waste of efforts, absolute waste of efforts. Which is why I always tell people, never start a question without knowing what it is asking for. What it is asking for, be very careful. Clear? Yes, ये मैं आज लिखा रहा हूँ, वो भी step number one. And every time I do a question, same thing will happen. Same thing will happen. Every time I do a question, I will do something. I will do the answer. You will start telling Rahul taxable. I'll be like, which head? You'll be like, Rahul IFOS. I'll be like, मैं तो salaries में बैठा हूँ. Yes, so be very careful about it. You will not take any additional information than what is required. Clear with me? Yes. Step number two. Step number two. Identify the person. Step number two. Identify the person and its. मेरे पास नहीं है. Identify the person. Identify the person and his residential status. Identify the person and his residential status. And his residential status. Yes. Step number three. So step one is identify the question and its requirements. Step number two is identify the person and his residential status. Step number three, determine whether. Step number three is determine whether the income. Determine whether the income is taxable or not. Determine whether the income is taxable or not. Yes, yes, yes. This is the step which will come and tell you ki what should I tax and what should I not tax. We discussed capital receipt, revenue receipt, all those things. Yes. Step number 4. Step number 4. Classify the Step number 4. Classify the incomes. Step number 4. Classify the incomes into five heads of income. Classify the income into five heads of income. Into five heads of income. People, step number 4 is where either you do right or you end up doing everything wrong. Yes, because one mistake from step number 4, after this all 16 steps are wrong only. Yes, which means if you have wrongly addressed step number 4, you can forget of the question. Everything else is wrong only automatically. Yes, so step number 4 is where the most critical part is, which is what we did right now. All the examples we did is all step number 4. Mistake from your side, chapter is gone. Chapter is gone. Step number 5. Step number 5. Provide provide necessary provide necessary deductions. Provide necessary deductions, comma, expenses. Provide necessary deductions, comma, expenses, comma, exemptions, comma, exemptions given in the respective head. Provide necessary deductions, comma, expenses, comma, exemptions given in the respective head. Given in the respective head. Step number, respective head. Respective head. People don't copy. This is for my reference. Full stop, continue. Full stop, continue. This will arrive at people. This is not the next step. Continue, I said. Yes. What did I write? Provide necessary deductions, comma, ex, comma, exemption under the respective head. Full stop, continue. Full stop, continue. This will result in this will result in income from all heads. This will result in income from all heads. Yes, so you're providing all expenses and deductions. You'll arrive at income from all heads. Step number 6. Step number 6. People, I'm warning you, don't take this from here. This is final level. Yes, फिर उठा के कर दो उसके बाद पता नहीं चले. This is all final level. Don't take it up. Yes, step number 6. If you want to know, यहाँ पे 40 steps है. लो, लिखना है. Yes, step number 6. हाँ, क्या हुआ? Step number 6. Club. Step number 6. Club someone else's income. Step number 6 is club someone else's income. Step number 6 is club someone else's income. Yes, yes. This is the discussion, people. Where if you remember last class, I was talking about minor child income. You said parents will pay tax. That is step number 6. Yes. So here is where we will decide what incomes are not taxable by you, but taxable on someone else. Taxable on someone else, which means you will earn income, someone will pay tax. Someone will pay tax. That is what we call clubbing of income. Step number 7. Step number 7. Set off set off any losses. Set off any losses slash unabsorbed depreciation. Set off any losses slash unabsorbed 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 depreciation. Unabsorbed depreciation. Yes, yes, full stop, continue. This will this will result in this will result in gross total income, in caps, gross total income. Write it in caps, people. Uppercase. This will result in gross total income. This will result in gross total income. Done? Done. Step number 8. Step number 8. Claim. 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 Chapter 6A deduction. People, it's on the screen. Claim. Chapter 6A. Roman numeral 6. Chapter 6A slash 10 capital A, capital A, 10 double A. Claim chapter 6A slash 10 double A deduction. Slash 10 double A deduction. Full stop, continue. This will arrive at this will arrive at total income. This will arrive at total income. Within brackets, round off to within brackets, round off to rupees 10. Within brackets, round off to rupees 10. Now, what is round off and all, people? Next topics we'll discuss later on. Don't worry. Round off to rupees 10. Done, done, done. Step number 9. Step number 9. Compute tax. Compute tax under DTR. D for dog, T for time, R for Rahul. Compute tax under DTR. DTR within bracket default tax regime. Compute tax under DTR within bracket default tax regime under section. People, learn some jargons. Learn some jargons. When you have to write under section, don't waste time writing under section. Shortcut is U/S. Shortcut is U/S. This is an approved jargon. It's an approved jargon, so you can use U/S under section. Under section 115 capital B, capital A, capital C. Compute tax under default tax regime under section 115 BAC. मेरे पास नहीं है. Under section 115 BAC. People, 115 BAC is the section number. Section number itself is 115 BAC. That is what the section is. Clear? Yes. Yes. By the way, this is the section which has been amended completely for your exams. You will learn everything newly for this time. Yes. So it's a complete important chapter. This full chapter is in green. Pura chapter green mein, because everything is amended. Everything is amended. So extremely important for your exam. Step number 10. Compute tax under optional tax regime. Compute tax under optional tax regime. People, there you wrote default, now you're writing optional. So compute tax under optional tax regime within bracket Finance Act, within bracket Finance Act 2025 rates, within bracket Finance Act 2025 rates. Finance Act 2025 rates, which means whatever rates are given in the Finance Act, that is what you're doing in step number. Very good. Step number 11. Step number 11. Compute tax. Compute tax as per AMT. Compute tax as per AMT. AMT is basically alternative minimum tax. Not relevant, don't worry. Yes, we'll discuss it in subsequent chapters. Compute tax as per AMT. Done? Done. Step number 12. Step number 12. Step number 12. Gross tax liability is equal to gross GROSS. क्या? gross tax liability is equal to gross tax liability is equal to, people, I'm writing this, look at this carefully. Gross tax liability is equal to step number क्या लिख रहे हो? So step 10 versus step 11. Step 10 versus step 11 versus my VS versus step 10 versus step 11, whichever is higher. Step 10 versus step 11, whichever is higher, versus step 9. Continue. Versus step 9, whichever is lower. Versus step 9, whichever is lower. So it is step 10 versus step 11, whichever is higher, versus step 9, whichever is lower. Yes, people, this higher lower comedy will happen in the whole subject. Yes, every place we will discuss, somewhere I'll tell higher, somewhere I'll tell lower, somewhere I'll tell higher, lower, higher, somewhere I'll tell lower, higher, higher. All that nonsense will happen. Yes, you will understand it as we proceed in the chapter, but this is what the topic is. Clear? Yes, step number 13. Step number 13. Step number 13, claim. Step number 13 is claim TDS, claim TDS slash TCS, comma, advance tax, claim TDS slash TCS, comma, advance tax, comma, self assessment tax, self assessment tax, comma, AMT credit, claim TDS slash TCS, comma, advance tax, comma, self assessment tax, comma, AMT credit, comma, relief under section, relief under section 89, relief under section 89. Yes, yes, we're claiming TDS, TCS, advance tax, self assessment, AMT credit, and relief under 89. Step number 14. Step number 14, add add interest, add interest under section, add interest under section 234A, comma, 234B, comma, 234C, add interest under section 234A, 234B, 234C, and late fee under section 234F. राहुल, बीच में डी एन ई कहाँ गया? नहीं पता. Final level syllabus. Yes, so we're adding interest of 234A, 234B, 234C, and late filing fee. Done? Done. 15. Step 15. File return of income. File return of income. File return of income. Full stop. Revise if necessary. File return of income. Revise if necessary. Revise if necessary. Yes. Last step. 16. File updated return, file updated return, comma, pay, comma, pay காசு, pay additional tax, file updated return, comma, pay additional tax, comma, pay additional. Okay, this is your 16 golden rules. Yeah, 16 golden rules. Yes. Now, people conclude करने के लिए thank you बोलना पड़ता है, conclude तो करने दो. Listen. Now, if you notice this carefully, listen. If you notice this carefully, people, I have given a summary of the steps. Like I showed you, final level has 30 steps. At inter level, we're only doing 16 steps because technically we are trying to cover what is in your syllabus. What is in your syllabus. If you notice carefully, by doing the 16 steps, you have technically done your syllabus properly. Yes, because if you notice, step number one says identify the question and its requirement, basic things. Basic things. Step number two says identify the person and its residential status. Identifying person we did last class. So that is chapter number one. Identifying the residential status becomes chapter number three. Becomes chapter number three. Step number four says determine whether the income is taxable or not. Notice in residential status, we also have something called scope of total income, meaning I'm clarifying what is taxable, what is not taxable. Apart from that, if you come down, you will see something called income, which does not form part of total income, which is basically exemptions. Basically, exemptions. Next, five heads. Five heads become salaries, HP, PGBP, CG, dividends. हो गया. Next, part of the same head. Next, club someone else. Income becomes clubbing of income. Next, set off of losses. Claim chapter 6A deduction and 10AA deduction. Compute tax under chapter 20. Compute tax under optional tax regime. Next class session, chapter 2. Compute tax as per AMT, chapter 19. Gross tax liability is the computation. One by one. Claim TDS, TCS. Advanced tax, self-assessment tax. AMT is part of AMT chapter. Next. Relief under 89 is part of salaries chapter. Next. Add interest, part of return filing chapter. File return of income, return filing chapter. File updated return, return filing chapter, and that's how your syllabus is. That's how your syllabus is. If you notice, people, a few chapters are pending called BNI discussed agriculture income is हो गया chapter खत्म. Next, unexplained income is taxable at 78% हो गया chapter खत्म. Yes. So silently, people, we have already completed of two more chapters. Yes, we have very silently completed of two more chapters. You just don't know about it. Just don't know. Yes, that is what I told you. Know, people, I do a story. Story में सब आ जाता है. Yes. Now there are some things to do. No doubts about it. Agriculture and unexplained. Some English is pending. So we'll be discussing those English as we go forward. Other than that, the chapter is technically very good. Yes. Now, people, generally, while I give you golden rules, step process would be I have to go to step number 3 now. Yes, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. We're going to do sums now. So, which means we are moving on to step number 10, which is your compute tax as per Finance Act rates. Yes. So, we'll be covering step number 10, step number 9 next class. From next class starts your sum, which means I need in your hand mandatory a calculator, mandatory a notebook where you're going to do sums, a pen, pencil, black pen, and blue pen, red pen, जो भी है. Yes, so please have those in hand, people, because next class से sums first day से red pen चालू हो जाएगा. Yes, so be very careful. I need everyone having it in your hand. Carry a sticky note, it'll be helpful for you. Yes, it's not mandatory, but if you can have it, it'll be good for you because I keep giving notes once in a while. If you can note it in your concept guide, it becomes easier. Otherwise, during the day of exam, you'll have to refer your notebook, which is a waste of time for you. Yes, so I don't want that to happen. Carry it accordingly. Next class tak ke liye, people, you don't need your question bank. Yes, I will tell you when you need your question bank. Carry two books, your concept guide and your notebook. Question bank is not required. You will not need it for at least another five lectures. So 5 classes tak to question bank chahiye nahi. I will be needing the question bank only in the next chapter. So this chapter it is not relevant at all. Keep it at home. Chalega. Doesn't matter. Yes. Yes. Chapter 1 khali. Please revise and come the chapter 1. Clear? Yes. Good. Thank you, people. Have an enjoyment day.